Welcome to Authentic with Brazil 201. I'm your host, Brazil 201, and on today's episode, we're going to talk about what was one of the top four shows of the year 2025. It is back for season two, hour one, The Pit. Arguably, without a doubt, it is the best hospital show on television and is the best hospital show since Derek Shepard died in Grey's Anatomy. And you know what's interesting about the pit, and it's great because not only the fact that it's done in the 24-hour format where like 24 each episode was a real hour and we spend like a real hour with it. It is truly amazing. But before we get into season 2 and everything, it's interesting because within the pit, right? Grey's Anatomy and Chicago Med are still airing, right? And Scrubs is coming back in a couple weeks. And I was trying to watch yesterday. I was trying to watch Chicago Med, and I like watching. Not I like Chicago Fire because of the main white girl, Jocelyn Hudson, super hot white girl, right? And I like Chicago, and I like the cop shows, right? I like Chicago PD because Hank Floyd just kills people. But like I was trying to watch Chicago Med, and I liked it because they kind of made like Dr. Lennox like fuck people and shit now. But like I was just trying to watch the episode, and it was like so bad, right? Like Grey's Anatomy, like post COVID Grey's. I thought the COVID season of Grey's was like actually pretty good, but Grey's Anatomy has been like an absolute disaster and a shit show. And I wonder if the people who work on the other hospital shows think their shows are just hot garbage now because the pit came back swinging, and boy, does it have a budget now, right? The pit was like a low budget HBO Max show that made mountains out of molehills, and now that it was considered for some the best show of the year of 2025, very much in most people's list is in their top three, right? Came back swinging, right? It knows it's what it is and it has to prove a point, and it did not miss in this first episode, hour one, right? We are 10 months since the Pit Fest shooting. And what is interesting, because I'm going to keep comparing this to Grey's Anatomy in a way, right? Is where when we meet Meredith and the gang, it was like we go through the first year of their residency program, but it's like through the first three seasons. So we're with them in real life for 3 years, but in the show, it allegedly was only a year. And in this, it's been 10 months, right? It's been 10 months, and in real life as well, it has been 10 months since we last saw the gang of the pit, right? Because the pit ended in March or April of 2025, and it's been 10 months, right? So it feels like for the 10 months it's been for them, and so the 10 months has been for us, and we see the new dynamics that is played, right? Langdon has just got out of rehab. Whittaker is far more confident in who he is. Mel King is still, I mean, yeah, Melissa's still kind of like the nervous autistic girl, but she's better at it. Everyone else understands her tells to snap her out of her autistic moments, and I don't mean that like an insult, but like everyone seems to know when she's in one of these things and she's talking to herself and it's like another persona, and they know how to snap her back, right? Ha, what's it called? Victoria, our gifted 20-year-old genius. Apparently, tomorrow is her birthday on July 4th. And she's like trying to decide what she wants to do. Her mother is, overbearing on the gifted child. We see Samira, who's mad that her mother is about to sell the house to go to on a year-long cruise ship. We see that Dr. Santos, as you know, she really hated seeing children get abused, by their fathers and shit like that, and on the case with that. And we also see that Dr. McKay has gotten the ankle monitor taken off, and she's allowed to bang, and she really wants to bang. So this is where we are. Also, that Dr. Robbie is going to leave after 4th of July weekend to go to Alberta to do ayahuasca to himself or whatever. So the episode begins with Robbie zigzagging through a motorcycle without a helmet, which seems absolutely fucking psychotic for a fucking doctor. But you know what? Dr. Shepard did this after almost losing his arm in a fucking plane crash. So what do we expect here? So let's bring us forward where we start. Robbie meets his we start off the shift over from the night crew to the day crew. As we all know, everyone still wants the Pitt night shift spinoff, which I do think we're gonna get. I think HBO is gonna start greenlighting a lot of these shows, whether it's Paramount or Netflix that gets them, because they need these shows into production so they can't be pulled no matter what. And either way, the Pitt is considered a top 5 show of right of and if it's going to be coming back yearly in January now, like it's staking out, like first week of January is the Pitt, and it's stapled that ground. That is great for television, right? It is great that we know it. We know for 15 weeks we have phenomenal television. This is similar to what 24 did, where for 24, well, 16, whatever, 20 straight weeks we had Jack Bauer and the whole shebang. This is great. So we're here, and Robbie is talking to who's going to be his replacement, which is this Indian woman, and she is apparently a more micromanager, and we see the new dynamics with everybody's far more confident in who they are, right? Because now they're all finished their second year or first year, and they all know what to do. And we see that they've really taken all the lessons Robbie has taught them in season 1, right? You trust Whittaker to do things that he's not gonna fuck up. If you forgot, like Whittaker went through like 9 scrubs in season 1. Dana's back. We still have no idea if the dude who beat the shit out of Dana got arrested. I assume so because they knew who the guy was. So I assume he got arrested and he's in jail, right? Langdon is back from rehab. Robbie is angry at Langdon still because, Langdon is the prodigal son. And it's kind of interesting in this way because Robbie is like Richard from Grey's. And Dana's kind of like the Bailey. And the new person who's replacing Robbie while he's on his sabbatical is kind of like Catherine Fox from Grey's. I'm going to use a lot of Grey's Anatomy references for this, right? Langdon kind of seems like he's House. He's supposed to be so gifted. And Mel is kind of like the weird short Asian girl that was in the final season of House. And everyone else kind of seems unique to their whole situation. So let's go through the patients we have met so far in hour 1. First, someone abandoned a baby in the bathroom, and the security guard and everybody didn't see anyone abandon the baby, and we learn a procedure which I did not know. So apparently, because the baby's so small but he looks healthy, there are rules that if the baby is just dropped off before day 28, there are no charges. It's not abandonment or anything, because it's safe haven things at a hospital where you can leave a kid at a firehouse, a police station, or a hospital, and they can't do anything about it, like legally, right? But the hospital gang, Dr. Robbie and them, decide that this baby looks like it's 29 or 30 days so that they can do different workup tests for it, which means they have to go find the parent so the parent could be charged. That's what we're doing with the baby. Next, we meet a little girl, which is interesting because I saw this girl on Chicago PD. So I know because of she was a main character in Chicago PD, where her in Chicago PD, her fake dad murdered a lot of people. So, and she was a good actress, which means I think we're going to see this girl do a lot. And I feel like they're just ripping the Chicago PD storyline because I can already tell. And apparently, she has a lot of cuts and bruises and black, and, you know, Santos and the other doctor are like, trying to figure out was she touched, abused at school or parents or whatever. And the girlfriend of her dad brought her into the hospital. And Santos is telling Robbie and the new chick, what should we do? And like, gets child services. We're going to do a full workup. She pisses blood. And that's where we are with that situation. There is a crazy homeless man in the waiting room, and we keep getting point of view shots from there's a deaf woman in the waiting room, so whenever we cut to her point of view, it's pure silent, which is great. I love what they're doing with this. It sounds very good. Already genius on how we're doing this. Is like the show was at a 10 and it's still at a 10 in season 2, and I'm great. I like it. I don't. Clearly, the deaf chick is going to be an important part of season 2. I don't know what her thing is, but she's just waiting. Everyone is freaking out of the smell from the crazy homeless guy. So everyone, the doctor, Dana takes the crazy homeless guy to the parking lot to shower him down because he smells like garbage. That's what we're doing. There was a nun with a lot of cataracts in her eye, and an old person from a hospice, not a hospice, an old people home gets bussed in because he died in his sleep and had a DNR. And then his wife apparently has Alzheimer's, and she was just brought in with an ambulance, so, and she doesn't know her husband died. And then we have Louis. Landon talks to Louis that I took your drugs, and Louis has got fucked up teeth and he's alcohol and all this, and this just seems sad. And then we have another crazy guy who doesn't, who is like angry, like, don't overcharge me. I haven't even hit my deductible yet. This sucks for you. My deductible's amazing. It's only $500. So, boof. And then my insurance is pretty much cheaper, whatever happens. That's what happens when you have great union, actor health insurance about it. So that's where we are with everything. Oh, and Melissa is getting hit with a malpractice suit. I guess it's for something that happened in season 1. I can't remember who Melissa killed. I know like Whitaker almost like killed everybody, but for whatever reason, whatever happened with Mel didn't happen to anybody else. So, oh, we have 2 new people as well that have joined the group. There is a tall ginger guy. I don't know his name, and there is an Asian girl who I also don't know her name. So right now it'll just be Asian girl and tall ginger guy. Okay? Because it took me forever to learn the names of all the fucking doctors in the first season because we were just introduced to a lot of people and it took me forever, but now I know fucking everybody from Robbie, Samira, to fucking McKay, to Mel, to Santos, to Langdon, to Dana, to Victoria, to Whittaker, to Lou, and like our frequent flyers that constantly pop in and pop out of the hospital. Right? So there we go. Also, Jack isn't in the first episode, but we trust Jack. It's just so funny how many fucking Chicago PD and fire people are in this fucking show. It's truly interesting on where we are. Also, Heather isn't coming back. Also, I can't remember. I know Heather had a miscarriage in the hospital. She just randomly leaves and she's not there by the time the shooting happens. Was the baby implying to be Robbie's? So confused. But yeah, everyone looks hot. Like, what you can tell because everyone definitely got massive raises for this and whatever. But that's where we are with the Pitt Hour 1. It's fantastic. I'm glad the Pitt is back. I was given screeners, by the way, like most people for it. What's so weird, and this is my own beef. I have all the screeners for Knights of the Seven Kingdom. I'll have to talk about it. No screeners for Industry. Was given screeners for the Pit. I am not watching ahead, okay, because I want to enjoy these fucking 15 weeks, okay? I like that at 9 p.m. on Thursdays, I have something to look forward to because the Fit is just phenomenal television, okay? Like Fallout, like Landman, I enjoy it. I don't want it to be gone, okay? Or, it is what it is.